Okay, hold that. Go ahead and pick that up and set it there, and then I'm gonna.
Probably better, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Here, go ahead and give me my thing.
Yeah, I'm about to say, 72 of these sucks.
Got it.
Ooh, come on.
You're going to set nails up on that top one?
Yep, I'm going to set nails here, set nails on the top one.
Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the show here on a gorgeous Friday morning. It's a little warm already. There's no breeze, and we're going to be up here finishing this sheathing, so not a whole lot to share. If there's something I think is cool, I'll try to share that with you, but we're going to try to get to work, make sure we get this done today. We want to get it covered with some synthetic felt paper, and then we'll be ready to start working on some roofing details. So let's get into this. I'm already sweating. So what we have to do on this roof framing is double up our purlins where the valley is going to be cutting through this upper roof, just for an added strength factor. We did, if you remember, have these trusses, point load added to them, so this top cord can accept that extra weight. And we've never done this before, so this is something that our engineer just said to do on this one. I don't know if it was the size of it, but a lot of layover valleys that we've done, we've never done this. We've just sheeted and went right over it. But in case there's some snow sitting up here or additional weight, that can help with that. So we're just going to double them up, laminate them together, and call it a day. All right, back to sheathing, huh?
Oh, dang.
About freaking time. Man, guys, what a long couple days. A lot of hard work was done, even though it may not look like much. It's just a lot of square footage and a lot of up and down, back and forth, and moving some 5/8 sheeting for a couple guys. I'm not complaining. I love it. I love the feeling that I get now that we're done, being able to look at this, seeing it prepped and ready to, you know, start getting some roof sheathing on the one side. Obviously, if you look over here, you can see where that little knockout is on the overhang, the fascia, and that is where the porch is going to be. We didn't want to go through that with the overhang because that's going to be part of the porch. So what we're going to do next is, well, first off, we're cleaning up and getting out of here. It's a long day, long week. A lot of physical work was done this week, obviously, because we mainly built this structure this week as you see it. I'm really happy with how we did today, this week. and I'm looking forward to next week. I don't know when I'm gonna get these videos up. I'm doing the best I can. Hopefully you've checked out all the previous videos. If not, go back and check them out. So thank you very much for the support, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Get that ginger. Now make sure stay safe. You want some? Now we're ready. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today it's a new week, gorgeous day. It's gonna be the best day today compared to any other day this week. So we're gonna get on this roof and finish wrapping it with some synthetic felt underlayment. You know, a lot of people are wondering why didn't we use zip sheathing. Honestly, it's my fault. I'm just a kind of a, I don't know, procrastinator maybe sometimes. So I've got a million things going on and I don't always think ahead. And I usually have to think ahead in order to get zip delivered to the job site versus when we needed the sheathing, I could go pick it up at my local Menards. So very easy, and that's usually what it boils down to if I think ahead. Not a big deal. I mean, this OSB is great. It just means now we got to do another layer or another additional step above and beyond taping the zip sheathing. We have to run this synthetic felt paper. I do think that it's nice to have that extra barrier between your sheathing product and your metal. I'm not saying zip is bad. I'm saying it's great. But I don't feel bad, like I don't think we're doing a disservice to our customer. I think this is a great option still. It just means more labor for us. So hopefully that makes sense. We're gonna get on this before it gets too hot. Let's go ahead and run it out a little bit. Don't worry about that too much. Let's just kind of make sure we're running. Yeah, let's go right about there, Greg. Now I'm guessing probably our good friends on the YouTube are wondering why we're not cap nailing though.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them why.
Second time.
Again?
Yeah, man. Okay, hey, hose. Let's go above you. All right. So we don't use cap nails because specifically cap nails and metal roofing do not go well together. They will ghost the image of that cap nail right through the metal. You'll see a little pucker. You might not know what you're looking at when you see it from a road, but it'll look not that great. And even more so with standing seam, where we have that flat metal, you don't want those inconsistencies in your framing or in your top surface of your roof deck, because you'll see them. So we opt for staples. Yes, we don't get the same warranty with our synthetic felt, but we're not worried about it. We're not going to leave this out here for 120 days. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Come out! Reload! There. I wanted to make sure that section didn't come off. Now this is kind of not fair, Greg, because 4 out of these last 6, I don't have another side to hit. Corners are gimmies. That's got a chain on it, I have to do that later, but this is where the pressure starts to build. 345.
That was close. That was close. I think if you miss.
There's only one hard one
Missed
left,
that
Greg.
if you miss the last one.
Yeah, but if I get all these last ones, I'm the champion. Oh! Bro, you gotta give it to me.
I mean, you kind of ovaled that hole out a little bit.
Oh, give me a break. You grab a bolt, and if it can't go through, I guess we know. Tip did break, it looks like, almost, Greg. Fact remains, I still made it through.
I feel like you got a little bit of a hole there. You almost missed that one.
You may be the people's favorite, Greg, but I'm still the GOAT.
You did all right.
Now that we've got the roof completely sheathed, we've got that synthetic felt paper on there. So we're gonna go ahead and get some permanent bracing cut up. I'll take you through some of that process, maybe explain some of the math to you too, and we'll get that done next. All right, so what I'm gonna work on now is the cross bracing or the double X bracing that maybe you guys have seen, and I'll kind of take you through how I figure it out mathematically. And yes, there is easier ways to do this. You could just guesstimate, you could set the board up on the wall, and I'll show you that, and just make some marks. The problem is it's not very accurate. So you're relying on your wall already to be in the position that you want it to be in versus potentially doing the mathematics correctly and putting the wall in the correct position. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Guys have said before, why don't you just put your board up, come in here, mark the side of the column, mark the side of the column, and just cut it. Well, problem is, I gotta do a double X. So I want to find the exact midpoint of my wall and get the exact angle so that these boards can be cut to fit perfectly right where they belong. And I think that's the best way to do it. So let me show you how. Now, because there's not gonna be anything in this bay right here, this is where I'm gonna put one of my corner braces. And the first thing I need to know is what my width of the bay is, which is gonna be 87 inches. And then the next thing I need to know is where it's going to end way up top. All right, now we gotta grab the height of this bay. So I'm just gonna reach out over here, top of this column if I can get it, and go to the top of the concrete, which we're at 18.8. So what we have is, we're just gonna envision my crooked line as the straight post because we have nice straight posts. I just can't draw them straight. And we've got 18.8 for our entire height, and we've got 87 inches. Sorry, you metric people, this is, you know, imperial, inches and feet, that's what I know. And what we're looking to do is create a double X. This line signifying the halfway point, so we wanna find that out. We're gonna divide 18.8 by 2, which is gonna give us 9 foot 4 inches. So now that we have these two dimensions, we can move on, and we're gonna draw another square. We're looking to install some diagonal bracing here, knowing that this is 9 foot 4, and the bottom is 87 inches still. So the thing to note is that we can figure out this dimension pretty easily, trigonometry, as long as we have two sides and an angle, which we know this is a 90-degree angle, we can figure out the diagonal. I'm not gonna do that math. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into my calculator. I'm gonna type in 87 inches run, 9 foot 4 inch rise, diagonal of 11, 9, 13, 16ths. So now that I know that dimension, you gotta remember this is a 2x6. Because I want this point to be here, I want my 2x6 to be on the top of this midpoint, which means it's gonna extend past my halfway point. I don't want that. So I need to find out the dimension that it goes past so that I can reduce it down and therefore shift my angle to something like this. Because we know the pitch of 52.16, that's the angle right here, it's gonna be the same as this angle right here, therefore giving us the ability to take the same pitch, 52.16 pitch, and 5.5 run, because I got a 2x6, that's 5.5 inches, it's going to give me a diagonal of 8 and 15/16. That is this dimension right here. And that's the same as the dimension right here. So now I'm going to take my 9'4" minus 8 and 15/16. Now we have 8, 7 1/16. That is my new dimension that I'm going to use to figure out exactly what to cut this board. So 87-inch run, 8 foot 7 inch 1/16 rise. I've got a diagonal of 11, 2 7/8 and a pitch of 49.83 degrees, or I like to use 14 3/16. And now with that information, I can cut my diagonal bracing and they should be perfect. All right, so for our first end here, we're gonna go ahead and put a 14 3/16 pitch on, and we're just gonna use the Martinez. What's nice about that is I've got these little, I don't know, guides here that I just go ahead and point it at 12 inches on one side. I can point it at 14 3/16 on the other side. Set it on. It's gonna be super efficient, very accurate. Hopefully that's the goal. And then we can go ahead and cut that pitch. All right, now that we have that cut, we're gonna go ahead, pull the diagonal dimension that we figured up, which was 11, 2 7/8 from the long point, 11, 2 7/8. And with the square, we can just flip it over and go the exact same way, kind of matching the other end. Let's go ahead and make this cut. And now we should be able to test this, throw it up, and see if we did our job. All right, let's go ahead and fish this up there and behind this chain, which is there holding our wall temporarily braced. Now, one thing you'll notice is we do have a bracket down here. That might, you know, mess with our dimension just a little bit because it is 1/4 inch thick. So I didn't take that into account when I figured up the dimensions. I should have went 87 and minus 1/4 to be exact. But I knew that it was only one board was gonna be potentially off just a little. And you can see that fits in nice and tight. And now that I know that that's good, I'm able to do the rest of this angle brace here. I'll cut 3 more the exact same way, and then they'll just fit in there nice and tight. Math never lies. You may think, holy cow, Kyle, I can't believe you just spent that much time figuring that out. I would have just put the board up there, cut it. I've done it enough now. It doesn't take me that long, and I've got a lot of cheat sheets because I've done it so many times that when I do a standard wall size, I already know what it is. I can just, you know, check on my phone and it says, oh, okay, 8 foot spacing on a wall, 16 foot tall, boom, here you go. Here's your X's and cut them. So it doesn't take that long. I'm just hoping that sharing this knowledge helps you maybe, you know, start doing this process, and then over time it'll become easier and faster. And maybe I'll put this into a full video at some point. I don't know. Maybe I'll make this a full video. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Greg. I don't know. And there you go. Now we have our double X bracing for that wall cut. I can install it, but I'm gonna wait till I get all these cut, all the walls plumbed up perfectly, and then I'll install them. All right, well, another day comes to an end here, and you know what? It's just, this is a big project, a lot for two guys, so it doesn't seem like we're maybe putting out a ton of work, but I think that's not what's important. What's important is that we're getting it done. And we got this roof dried in, so we've got that synthetic felt done. That's laid perfectly, looks great. It's gonna be an awesome surface for our standing seam roof, which we're gonna start very soon. We got a bunch of the windows all made up, or at least cut up, so tomorrow we can start framing those in, and started getting all of our corner bracing installed. So that really locked down the structure. I could feel the difference in it. And we'll be back tomorrow. It's gonna be a hot week, progressing as we go throughout this week. It's gonna keep getting hotter. So hopefully we'll be able to kind of work with the shade and work around the building. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.